In this presentation, you will learn how to solve the AMR case study, which is question 1 in your board paper. Now you can look at the notes. It is given very clearly by Hanif sir. But if you still have any doubts, I'll just try to take you through the process. You can also practice any old question papers using the same format. So in the notes, you have the example of Bisleri brand of bottled water. Okay, where they are trying to launch a new 360-degree integrated campaign to reinforce customers' trust and raise awareness about the quality of stringent hygiene protocols in bottling distillery water. So now you as a researcher have to suggest an appropriate research design, sampling method and research process. Now this question is just put here for your reference. Further on, I will not be doing this particular question, but I'll just take you through the details. So our first section is to give an introduction. What do you write here? You introduce the case that is already given to you. So this is an easy thing to do because you are just rephrasing the question that is given to you. At the same time, you will define the research problem. So mention what is given to you and then define the research problem. Now give the demographics and psychographics. Under demographics, you have age, gender, income, education, occupation. And under psychographics, you'll have the attitude of the consumer, their beliefs, lifestyle, interests. You then move on to the next point, which is your hypothesis, where you'll mention two, the null hypothesis as well as the alternate hypothesis. So you'll mention both situations that could be possible while researching something like this. Our next step is to write the research objectives. So mention relevancy, explain how your research will be relevant to what you're trying to find out. Second, quality, ensure what sources you will use. So tell us what are the sources you will use and how they will be useful to us. Timeline, days or month. Ideally, every campaign should be either for 60 days or 2 months, whichever you prefer to write. You can either write 60 days or you can write 2 months. Completeness, mention a deadline by which you will complete the research. I usually recommend, again, 2 months. Details of sources. So we have our primary sources. For example, you have survey method, you have interviews, you can choose whatever you want to write under primary. And secondary sources, which are existing data. Again, you can choose whatever you want to mention. Very important to mention the research design. Okay, so either you're using exploratory research where it is a new research. So if there's something new that you're looking into, you can explore, or you can use descriptive research where an already existing situation or innovation is there. Okay, so we find that we mostly use descriptive research in our case study. Now, our processing. So one is method of sampling. We've studied sampling throughout MMR also. Okay, we have two types of sampling, probability and non-probability. Now specify which one type under probability or which one type under non-probability you will be using for your study. You can mention whether the data you have collected is going to be qualitative in nature or quantitative in nature. If quantitative, you may use softwares that are provided by the company or SPSS or any other software you are aware of. Approximate budget and timeline. We mentioned this previously also, but do mention it once more. So the approximate budget can range from 3 to 5 lakhs. Okay, and the approximate time 60 days to 2 months. Ethics of research. Now, it's very important to mention that all ethical procedures have been followed. So you respect the privacy of the respondents. Like we said in the questionnaire, we keep their responses confidential. Okay, so therefore all necessary guidelines have been followed through our research. So that's all you need to mention. Presenting the research report, mention the pointers of data to be mentioned in the report, and you know the format of a report. Chapter 1 would be research proposal, chapter 2, chapter 3, 4, 5, your reference section, and finally draw a conclusion. With that, you finished your case study. Wishing each one of you all the best in the exam. Do well.